Hello, my name's Mark. In this video I'll show you how I make these simple Christmas tree decorations.
Okay, to start off with, I've got 3 bits of birch ply in there. It's all cut off at a 40 degree angle. They're just getting ever so slightly smaller as they go up to create the Christmas tree. And then everything else around it is just obviously cut the 40 degree angle to, obviously to go onto the tree. The rest of it is just scraps basically. I mean, it's not even one length. I've gone through there. I've just literally used whatever I could find knocking around. Obviously, you're going to make it into a circle, so it doesn't actually need to be square. You could miss the corners out, but it's going to be much easier to clamp up, I figured, if it was square. So, I mean, I know there's like several pieces of wood there. So, I mean, I didn't. But when it's round, you shouldn't really notice. So, I'm going to get all this glued together as like a box with that tree in the middle, and then we go from there. Glued it all up. I made it into the square, glued it, then put tape around it first to hold it as a square, and then just, well, as you see, buried it in clamps. So hopefully the tree will be in the middle when the clamps come off. So glue's dry now. So if I cut the end of this off, hopefully it should look like a square with something that vaguely resembles a Christmas tree in the middle. And one way to find out, I suppose. There we are, not too bad. It's quite a gap there. Hopefully that doesn't go all the way through. Hopefully it's just at the edge. Find out when we cut it up. Okay, so that's just a bit of it sliced off. So obviously to make these into Christmas tree decorations, whatever you want to do with them, you really want them round. So the easiest way obviously would be to stick that whole big lump on a lathe, spin it around, and then just slice it up. Obviously not everyone's got a lathe, you don't want to mess around that. So there's 3 ways you could do it. 2 with a hole saw, and 1 on a lathe. I'll go through all 3 really quickly so you can decide if you want to make one, how you want to go about it. Okay, this is the most sort of low-tech way with hardly any tools way of doing it. So I've cut that hole with a hole saw, line it up where I want the circle to be with the Christmas tree thing below. I've taken the drill bit out of the hole saw now, so now I can just drill straight through without, because you shouldn't skid because it's got that as a guide. I'll give it a try anyway. So I've given that first one a bit of a quick sand up so you can sort of see what it looks like. I think it looks too bad, apart from obviously I haven't got the tree in the middle of the disc, but obviously that's easily corrected. So sort of similar method now, but if you use the drill press, obviously you haven't got to mess around with all this. It might make them easier to get them, once you can jig it up as well to get it in the right place. You should just better repeat the cut much easier. Obviously the only thing with the hole saw is on the edge you can see there's a little bit of smoke coming off it. It sort of burns its way through, and you get the black paint come off the off the hole saw. So it does make quite a bit of cleaning up afterwards, but it didn't take that long. But pretty much exactly the same as before. The drill bit out of the hole saw, but obviously you don't need that ring now because it's held in the drill. So clamp 2 bits of OSB each side, just as like sort of stops. So that's just slides in so you can't spin. So if that's in the middle this time, you should just better keep cutting pieces and sliding them in and just make repetitive cuts. So I'll try this one, see what happens. It's probably still not probably perfectly central. It's a bit better than the other one, but obviously with that you could just fiddle around with it until you had it right. So I'll stick the rest of it in the lathe, turn that around and see what happens with that lot. So I've stuck this last bit, well the big bit on the lathe. I'll spin it around now and hopefully the tree will be somewhere in the middle. I'll get this done and then just show what I end up with. So I've got it basically round now. There needs a sand up. The Christmas tree still in the middle, it hasn't started poking through. If you look at the ends, it looks sort of roughly in the middle as best I can see. So it's not looking too bad now, so I'll give it a good sand up. So I've now got what looks like a rolling pin with something that looks like vaguely like a Christmas tree in the middle. So I'll slice it up on a bandsaw, I think, because it'd be a lot thinner thinner cut. If I use the chop saw, which obviously be easier and quicker, but it'd be a lot more waste. So I'll try a couple on the bandsaw anyway, and then see how it goes. Cut some up then. They haven't come out too bad. Some of those joints could have been tighter when I glued it up. I was probably trying to use too many offcuts of bits of wood. Not best idea. I'll give them a final sand up and we'll put a bit of wax on them and see what they look like. There they are all finished. I don't think they've come out too bad for stunning. It's a fairly simple build really, or make, or whatever you want to call it. Just put a little hook on there and a bit of green string stuff. Thanks a lot for watching, and please subscribe.